you? Good, good? Good. Everybody's here, I think. Very much. Okay, 22. My favorite number. My lucky number. So, last class for the year. We'll regroup next year again. And I was very happy to see that more people actually were able to stay to the end. Before we start, obviously the two chapters that we're going to cover right now are sort of like a recap of everything else. We talked about them already. We know what to do already, so it's not going to be super long, so we can get into our empanada beer fest. And but I do want to make sure that you guys ask any questions you have today, anything that is in your mind that you need clarification or you're confused, or any comments, positive comments that you have, like, you know, this thing I got out of the book that it was like one thing that really helped me. I got a beautiful email from who sent me an email? Jane. Jane? Is it Jane? Who?
Darian.
Yes, Darian. She sent me a really, really nice email. She's not able to be here today because obviously we changed the time, and she had a showing, but she put in an email that in the last month, I think she was like, struggling a little bit, but she really got into doing the things that we're learning over here and everything, and she was able to switch things around, and she's doing amazing right now. So she's very happy, and so anything that you want to comment or talk about it, I think it's important that everybody here hears that other people are actually getting good results out of it, and it's not just me talking to you about my good results, you know, because then we can share experiences, and through sharing experiences we can learn from others, you know. So we'll go over these chapters really quick, and then just start thinking about what you want to share. You don't have to, but it would be nice if, you know, a few people can share their experiences and any questions you have. All right? So, the sixth sense. We talked about this, right? The sixth sense last week, I think, about the hunches, and we talked with Sharon here. That told me that she feels that all the time, which is great. I mentioned that, you know, women, especially women that have been privileged enough to be mothers, have that more developed than, you know, us men, which is great. That doesn't mean that we as men cannot develop it. It's just, I think, through exercising and doing all these things and become more aware and learning how to quiet your mind and learning how to meditate and learning how to meditate to quiet your mind, to be able to listen to that sixth sense, to that hunch, to those feelings. And that's the way how the universe communicates with us, by those feelings, that gut feeling that you have to do something, or the gut feeling that you have to not do something, right? So that's basically what this talks about, this chapter over here. And before I go in there is a little thing that I like to read here that says, the ladder of success is never crowded at the top. It's true, and everybody knows that. So it's a very short chapter. Who would like to say anything about that in addition to what Sharon said last time? How you work this? I mean, there is they talked about in here about how he created his board meetings with like people that were important to him, like, you know, Napoleon and Jesus and a number of other, you know, big people in the world, and Lincoln, I think, was one of them. Burbank also. So has anyone tried that crazy exercise? Not yet? You should, it's cool. You should definitely do that. So, you know, this guy was able to, towards the end of his meetings, I think, or something like that, I think it was Lincoln that came to him, right? If I recall. I haven't read this last week, but I'm remembering from the past times that I read that I think Lincoln comes to him before he goes to bed or something like that, and his imagination, and tells him that the world was going to go through some rough shit, which is basically the Big Depression, and they were going to need a book like this, and they're going to need him, his teachings, and to get people to go through it and have faith and continue to do what they need to do to those bad times, right? So, well, hopefully there's not a big depression coming anytime soon, but it's just nice to be prepared and to be aware that through hard times, if you know what you want and if you focus on what you want and you work hard, there's always a way. There's always a way. There's always a way to do things. There's always a way to do business and create things, right? So I think the more you prepare, you'll be ready. And I don't think we're gonna have a big depression, but I definitely think that at some point we're gonna have an adjustment in the market. Nobody knows when it's gonna be, right? Some people say it's happening right now. It's gonna be next year. It's gonna be in 2 years. The stock market goes down. People think it's gonna happen sooner, but then the stock market goes strong again. And I don't know. I really don't know when it's gonna happen, but it definitely doesn't feel like we are at the top anymore. So it'll be good that you guys start preparing for that. And in the times when the phone rings and you're selling and you get escrows here and escrows there and stuff's happening like in the last 5 years, 4 years is great. But for those that have not been in the business, I'm not trying to scare you, just trying to prepare you. Those that have been in the business through crisis, to 2008, 9, or some people maybe been in earlier ones, it gets tough, the phone does not ring, and does not fucking ring. It's like nothing's happening, it's really quiet, and you start getting really anxious, and a lot of people, as you know, in real estate, get out of the real estate business, right? They're like, I can't do this anymore, I haven't sold anything in 8 months, in a year, or whatever, so I need to look at something else to do, and that's the biggest mistake you can make. Because if you want to make it in this business big, you gotta go through those times. You gotta be able to go through those times. And I think in any business, I think that in anything in life, it's not always winning and easy and all good. People see, especially now with social media, right? Everybody sees the happy moments of everybody. Nobody puts in social media their hard times. Nobody puts a picture when they're crying or something bad happened or anything. Everybody puts the nice things. So it creates a fake illusion of everything is perfect. And everybody's looking at everybody's perfect life out there. And it's not like that, right? It's like nobody knows what you go through to get to that. And that's why it's important to be ready for those times, because these are the things that will support you to get through it. These are the kind of groups that will help you when your phone's not ringing, you're getting desperate, to come to you and say, wait, don't do that, don't change careers now. Just stick to it and help each other. So we'll continue to do these things, whether we go through that or not, sooner or later, but we'll have this support group for those times, and we'll be helping each other and in different ways, emotionally or in any way we can. So anyone else want to talk about the Sixth Sense? No? No? Really? Okay. So let's see if there's anything worth to. Now the exercises, I think there's a couple that are really good. Yeah. Well, I have an example actually that happened to me yesterday. So I woke up yesterday and I don't know what was the reason that I was running late. I think I got hung up in my meditation a little longer, and I had a CrossFit class in Venice at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I jumped in my car, and I was like, I'll be fine. From the Palaces to Venice, you take the 10 freeway, normally get fairly quick, and less than 10 minutes for sure. So I got to PCH, and I was like, I'm late, I need to hurry up. And something inside me told me, don't go too fast, right? That's the Sixth Sense. That's something telling me, it didn't feel right to go as fast as I was going. I was going super fast, I was going 65, and PCH 45. So I was going even more. And a lot of people go a lot faster than that. And guess what happened? I got pulled over, I got a speeding ticket.
You did?
And now I was super late to my class. So, yeah, I got a speeding ticket. And, I just felt that,
were they right there in that beach parking lot?
I don't know.
PCH?
No clue. I just saw the lights in the back, and I pulled over in front of my listing on PCH.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, it was right there. So, I got a ticket or whatever, and it's not the way how you want to start the day, right? You want to start the day with right, and getting a ticket. It's not the way that anyone wants to start the day, but I learned to control my mind so much that it doesn't take one bit. I actually have a friend of mine that I invited as a guest here. His name is Danny. He's from Switzerland, and he's a guest here. And you feel free, he's gonna hang out with us for a little bit to introduce yourself to him. He's an amazing guy. He was in the Swiss Army, and he can tell you more about it when you guys meet him. So doing CrossFit with him is not easy. So I got to the CrossFit, and I was a little late, and you know, I kind of like didn't let that affect me. I was like, you know, it's fine. I'm 15 minutes late, and I have this personal trainer that is helping me learn the movements because CrossFit's new for me, and I don't want to injure myself. And I was like, she's gonna be fine. So I get there, and because I had that attitude, everything is gonna be okay. She was late. So actually, I got there, and the receptionist is like, "Oh, Lauren called that she's gonna be a little late." She got there 1 minute after me. So obviously, then she kicked my ass, you know. And I just felt in the last few weeks for me, it's been a little challenging. Like I had a lot of escrow, and I had some negative feedback from other agents, and just stuff that has been happening that I felt like, you know, it's these little things that happen, you know. I cracked my window in my car, and then I got a ticket. So I said, okay, that's it. You know, it's been a while that I haven't jumped in the ocean. So when we finished, I told Danny, hey, I'm going to jump in the ocean, you want to come? He's like, sure. So we went and we got in the freezing cold water yesterday at 6:37. And it's amazing, you know, it's amazing how you can do that, you know, you can control and make and have the choice to want to switch your energy, to want to switch your thoughts, to want to switch that little things that happen to you. It's almost like someone is telling you, hey, you know, you're thinking too much on the bad things, little bad things that are happening, and it's attracting more of that little bad things, right? And you need to snap out of it, right? So for me, jumping in the freezing water makes me snap out of it, whether you like it or not, you freaking, you know? So I was just happy that I do it because I haven't done it in weeks. And it was a reminder to probably, or maybe the way I interpreted it was like, you gotta do more of that. You know, it's a confirmation that you need to do more of that. You need to be more connected with nature. You need to be on top of always trying to block those bad and negative people, feelings, situations, and just make a choice to move in a different direction. And the explanation of why jumping in the water is that helps you change that is because that changes every single cell in your body. Like when you go into cold water, there is a scientific explanation that everything gets renewed. You bring blood to places normally they don't get irrigation. You freaking kick your nervous system butt. And just the action of wanting to do something that you don't really want to do at 6 in the morning, which is jumping in a freezing cold water, just by making that choice, you're telling your brain, hey, I'm the boss here. No you, not the negative thoughts that you have all the time talking in your ear. I make the choice and I'm gonna tell you what to do because I own this, right? So I just want to share that with you. That happened to me yesterday. So hopefully that you get something out of that.
Let me share something that happened to me last week.
Please.
So, I was invited by my cousin to, her church was doing a fundraiser out at the open area near Orange County. So, it was last Saturday, and so I said, okay, we'll come. And my wife and I and the baby are driving there, and it was raining. Obviously, it started raining Friday night. And I said to my wife, I said, there's no freaking way. I'm just gonna get there so my cousin doesn't think I flaked out on her. I'm gonna get there, show my face and say, look, I can't stay, I'm not gonna mess up my shoes and whatever. So I get there and there's a ton of people there. So my wife said, let's just get out for a minute, and if it starts pouring, then we'll go. I said, okay, fine. So we get out, we're walking there, it starts feeling okay. And while I'm there, I'm like, my shoes and this, and the strollers a mess, and I'm just thinking of all of the stuff going on. And the pastor, the guy who was putting the event together, starts talking, and he goes, I want to thank you all for being here. He goes, it hasn't rained in months. And I looked at my his weather thing, and it goes, it's not going to rain again for who knows how long. Why today? It's been, it hasn't rained in so long. We've been planning this all year. And he goes, I'm eternally crying, asking God, why today? Is it, what's going on? And he goes, I just felt something telling him, because I need you to go through what you need to do through a tough time. If I made it shiny and whatever, you just go through it. But the fact that you're still going through, nothing's changed, the food is where it's supposed to be, the kids are where they're supposed to be, and you're continuing, and later on you get encounter another issue, and you just keep going through it. And that just sunk in my mind, and I've been thinking about it almost every single day. Applying it to
Yeah.
business or family or whatever it is, so
Yeah,
it was a nice experience.
that's great. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, no, I mean, look, you make situations good or bad, better or worse, right? You make them bad. Like, it's us that we make things really bad, or things really good. Situations just are, the rain's there, that shouldn't change anything, but some people choose to make a change, right? Ruins their parties. So, anyone else?
I think those are the situations that define a human being, right? So if you can come out of a challenge and act like a lady or a gentleman, that's, defines character. It's easy to shine when everything's great, and it's, but if you can get through the tough times and still have the great attitude, you're a better person.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We shape our destiny and our lives with the decisions we make, whether they're good or bad ones. We make decisions all the time, constantly, in a minute, second by second basis. And the decisions we make really shape where you're gonna go. So when you're making decisions, as we're talking about the sixth sense, listen to your internal self. Listen to what feels right or not. Almost every time, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. Almost every time, no doubt about it. And a lot of times, most of us don't do what's right because it's harder, right? So we end up doing the other thing.
One of my favorite quotes is watch your thoughts become words, your words become your actions become your habits become your character, your character becomes your destiny. And it's so true. It's like we get into this day-to-day cycle of someone can ask like, how's your day going? And you don't want to lie, but I think it's so easy for all of us to just unload like, oh, I'm so annoyed, this just all extra, this person's canceled the showing, like you find yourself talking so negatively. And I'm a firm believer in like negativity just brings more negativity. And if you do something like, Angela Davis is someone I used to go to like daily when I lived over here. And she always used to say, all day we make choices, and at the end of the day, those choices make us. And it's, again, so true that we have the ability to choose what comes out of our mouths, or how to respond to people. And it really doesn't define who that person is that you're talking to, or it defines who you are. So I catch myself when someone says, like, how's everything going? Like, this goes back to another lesson, but no one really wants to be around you when you're just like talking so negatively. I don't even want to be around myself. And so I find even just the words that I speak, even if you have to almost, I don't want to say fake it, but just think about consciously saying things in a positive way, I'm just happier. And I think that's why when you suggest like every day writing down what you're grateful for, that's something my mom has always taught me. And it really does, it has the ability to just change your outlook. But you have to do it daily for some people in order to really have that effect and make sure that you're staying on track to that. So anyways, this has really helped me get back, because since being a mom, you get busy and first thing it's like baby in the morning, but if I can just get up a little earlier, then I make my time.
You have to.
Yeah.
Well, and even when things are shitty, right? Like you want to say I'm having a shitty day.
Totally.
I think about you a lot, and people ask me, how's your day? And I'm like, I'm grateful. Because I don't know what to say, so I'm grateful my kids are healthy. Like I try to turn it around to something positive.
Right. Because it doesn't really help. I know some of us want to vent, but like, it doesn't really help to talk about all the negative. It just makes you feel worse, you know?
Right.
And they were asking to be nice, they don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. Like, great.
Exactly.
Just say you're good and let's move on.
For those that are Christian or Catholic, I mean, it's in the Bible too. I mean, talks in there that the Bible says that our words are creations and we need to be careful what we talk. Clear messages to the universe, right? If you say I'm having a shitty day, that's what you're sending out there, right? So it's not faking it,
Right.
but it's making a conscious decision of not saying that, although it doesn't really feel that way, but by changing and doing the stopping of saying that and changing and say something like I'm grateful, you're rewiring yourself and that becomes a habit. And the whole thing about this is not about being positive, it's about habituating your life to live this way. You habituate, it becomes a habit to be positive, to talk positive, to surround yourself this and that's what gets you to be there, because you surround yourself with people like-minded, and that presents to you opportunities that they're like-minded opportunities, and that's how it works. It's just the way it is, and then you start turning off and rewiring your brain where you won't pay attention anymore to it. Like you can be sitting now next to a negative person that's talking a lot of stuff, and that's just not going there. You create these filters that it's like speaking a different language, right? So therefore, you're not going to get engaged into that, and you're not going to be talking about that, and you're not going to be meeting those people, and you're not going to be presenting those bad opportunities, and you're not going to have a shitty day. It's just the way it goes. So this is not about just reading the book and thinking positive, I'm going to do this and that. This is about becoming a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. You wake up every day, you live your life like that. You get pulled over, you make a choice not to be upset and bummed out. If you need to jump in the water, jump in the cold water to snap out of that moment. If you need to go on a run, if you need to put like some happy music, if you need to be with your kid that you love, I mean, who is in a bad mood and sees a baby and doesn't switch that energy, right? Or a puppy, or anything that gets you like change your emotions. So use those things, music, situations, people, pets, all those are great help to get you snap out of those shaky times. All right, last one. What's the last one? Nobody knows yet? By memory?
The 6 fears or something,
Yeah.
the six
Six
ghosts
ghosts of
of
fear.
fear.
So as you read this, you should have taken inventory of yourself. Find out how many of the ghosts are standing in your way, right? So what are the 6 basic ghosts? The fear of poverty. These are the fear of poverty, criticism, and of ill health. Let's be honest here. Who has fear of poverty? No one. I love it. I think we all have fear of poverty, right? Now, if you choose to feel more that way or less, is what you can control. The fear of criticism. Who has fear of criticism? Right? This is a big one. The fear of ill health. I mean, this is the one that I personally think is the most scary one, because I don't care if you have $2 billion, if they find an ailment that cannot be cured, it doesn't fucking matter how much money you want, you have nothing, like you're done and you're done, right? So that's why it's super important to be grateful, to be healthy, and it's super important to take care of yourself, right? I mean, your body is as healthy as you know, feed your body, exercise, take care of it, rest. Yes, I mean, there's occasions where unfortunately you are doing all that stuff and you still get something going on, but that's to me one of, I think, the biggest fears that most people have nowadays, with so many things happening around there, and you know, with all this food that they feed us that is no good for us, and all this stuff, right? So, but it's good to educate yourself and take care of yourself and have this energy and attitude, because it's proven that most of the ailments happen and they start, and the cause they start, so that's stress. And the reason why stress causes that, because stress lowers your immune system. And if your immune system is low, it cannot fight anything, from a simple cold to whatever it can be, you know, so stress is when you want to stay away from it. Then you have the fear of loss of a loved one, of course. Nobody wants to see someone that you love go. The fear of old age, right? We all want to live forever, young and strong and beautiful. And the fear of death, which I absolutely don't fear at all. And I used to be terrified of it. I mean, I was like terrified of dying. But I learned not to be terrified of dying because I grow spiritually, so I think that that's not the end, it might be the beginning of something, So as you grow and as you learn and as you change, these fears start to disappear, right? Because you start having faith. And as we thought, they cannot coexist, right? If you're fearful, that means that you're not faithful. Or vice versa, if you have faith, you shouldn't fear. And examples on anything, let's go back to the Bible. Let's talk about the miracles that Jesus did, right? It was because people had faith, not really because he was touching someone. It's like he used to tell people, your faith cure you, right? So through books, through history, through everything, it talks about it's your faith that takes care of it. It's not something else. It's not, right? It's you believing in yourself and all that. So let's work on doing every exercise we have here to develop faith. We know that the faith can be developed and can be growth by doing exercises, by repetition, by doing the affirmations, and whatever it takes to get that faith really strong. And once you get to that point, you realize that those fears are going to start to fade away. We don't need to go in depth on those fears because today is a good day and I don't want to talk about the bad fears. I want to talk about the solutions to those fears, which is basically, why don't you guys make sure that these last two chapters are the finished portion of everything else that's in the front. Like if you know how to master the first 10 chapters, then all in the back is going to make sense, and also this last chapter shouldn't exist because they won't be there anymore. Let's see here. Yep, I think we're done with that. Now I'd like to open it up to questions, comments, concerns, excitement, anything that you guys want to share. Let me see, there's not anything in here that I'm missing that I find beneficial. No? Alright guys, so we're done with this. So let's just open it up to questions. Who's going to start? Andre.
Can I share a video that it talks about that?
Yeah, now
it's a fast one. They're already got it set here.
you want to put it in?
Yeah, I'll put it here. It was in the Ellen show. It was the
Ellen?
actress. Ellen show, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it was the actress Kim Douglas.
I don't know if everybody's going to be able to see or how hard it will be to. Is it hard to put the video?
Let's see. No, it should be.
Is it going to be like last week, like we cannot hear it?
Is it?
Right here, my chest wall.
Let's try to watch it here.
And hidden under the dense breast tissue was a 1.5 centimeter stage 3 tumor. And, I really thought about that, Ellen, and it was like, it was hidden under the breast tissue near the heart. And we wouldn't have found it unless we did that. But, I think a lot about how in life we can hold bitterness or hold resentment or anger towards people, and sometimes, I'm not saying that, but sometimes it can manifest in our bodies. So my message right now is let it go. Whatever you're holding on to, let it go. The
Thank
very
you.
last
Thank you.
of
Look, I think we all here know that stress, negativity, all those things can make you sick, right? So thanks for sharing that, that's awesome.
I just want to thank you because I've learned a lot. I've done this a couple times and it's amazing. I've learned a lot of things from you, but the things that resonate with me are to be unshakable, to be a beast. We all have that in us, and to have that passion. When we have that passion, nothing gets in our way, whether it's like love, you're not gonna wait. Like for me, one of my biggest problems is I wanted everything to be perfect for me to move forward. And you taught me that from the beginning. You were like, I'm like, Santiago, I'm taking baby steps. And you were like, Monique, fuck baby steps, massive action. And that really is like my thing every day, and then I teach that to my kids. I'm like, no, like, 'cause that's like something I heard my whole life, you know, the baby steps, and you're like, Monique. And I love that, because that's like, we have that all in us, you know, to just take, not like, oh, I'm working on one deal, like, work on like a lot of things, you know? Because one deal, might not happen, so.
That's
anyway,
so
thank
awesome,
you.
because I was reading that this morning that you saved now, I want to read it. I wrote down here back when I was, I think, 5-6 years ago, and I used to rate how I was doing with this every time I did read a book or whatever. And I wrote something that really stuck on me back in the day because I was not where I am right now. And something that resonated from Tony Robbins, it says the path to success is taking massive amounts of action. And it is. It's not, I'm gonna do this halfway. Just, you gotta go for it. You gotta fucking take massive action. And that's when you see results, right? So, I'm glad you shared that.
I'm Mamba. I told my kids the other day, because you're talking about the black mamba. I'm like, I'm Mamba. So, I'm unstoppable. So
Good.
don't mess with me. And they're like, okay, whatever.
Who else? I like this. Yes.
So the book, in my opinion, has a lot of has a lot of wisdom, and I've never read this book before, and it's taught me a lot. Coming here has created discipline for me. As you know, Norman and I, we come from kind of a far area,
I know.
so but we're grateful that this is, and we've met a lot of great people here. But when I was a kid, I had a different mindset. You know, I kind of lived a life where I didn't really care. You know, I had no fear. And then I grew up, and then life happened. I went through a lot of experiences, which I'm grateful for as well, now looking back. But this is helping me rewire my mind to grow, to have more faith, to be disciplined, to help other people. So I'm definitely grateful for that to you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, look, guys, I mean, if you live 2 blocks from here, to show up here at 9 in the morning on a Friday, it's easy. I'm not discounting that, but talking about massive action is taking a drive from where you come from?
Simi Valley.
From Simi Valley all the way here to make it at 9. I don't know what time you guys actually leave there to make it on time here, and I don't know what entitles to go back, right? Because the traffic gets
It's not so
harder.
much the distance, it's the traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what I'm talking about, you know. I remember, who was it? I can't remember the person. Someone called me, I get emails all the time from newer agents or people that sees podcasts or something, and everybody wants to meet and have coffees, and if I would have gone to every coffee with those person, I would have an ulcer probably by now. So I can't make it, right? So unfortunately, I love people and I love to be able to make it. That's why sometimes I do the Skirball Center and invite people there because I can get 20 coffees in one coffee, right? So I invite them to come there so he can meet with me. And I remember I met this really young kid, I can't remember who it was, and he's like, please let me, it's actually a girl, I'm remembering now. I think it was a Partners Trust, and there was a girl who just started there. And we went to eat on Beverly Drive, Saffron. You remember that place?
Yeah.
Right? And she sat there and she was like, I just want to know what it takes. What is it that gets you to be successful? What is it, you know, because I'm willing to do everything. Like, what is that? There's got to be something that gets you to that next level or whatever. And I'm looking at her and I said, this, you have it. You're getting out of your comfort zone, emailing me, knowing that probably I won't be able to meet with you, wanting to meet with someone that you look at, which I've done in the past, and ask the question, right? Say, hey, I'm not asking for anything but advice and what it takes. Like having that fire inside to wanting to go and learn from someone or take advice from someone, that's what it takes. I mean, that's it. I mean, if you are willing to get out of your comfort zone, you're willing to take massive action of going and asking someone and get advice and do it, I said, you're gonna be fine. I mean, you being here right now, and I have to remember who it is to find out how she's doing, but I was like, you're good. You know, you're gonna be fine, because a lot of people don't do that. They don't take the action, right? And I was talking to Danny yesterday, I think, about this, right? We're talking about that is the execution, right? Which I mentioned to you guys many times. It's not coming up with the best idea in the world, with the best app, with the best this, and I share this with a lot of super important, super successful clients, and everybody agrees is the action. People drop the ball too soon, you know? People want instant satisfaction, right? Everybody wants everything right now, right? I want this perfect life and I want it now, and once I have it right now, then I'm gonna be happy. No, I don't think so, that's not what I want. Because if you get all that you want that quick, and you think you're gonna be happy, you won't because you're not happy with where you are right now. And it comes from here, it doesn't come from outside. All those things don't make you happy. So, anyone else?
I'll say something.
Yes.
First of all, thank you for this. This is amazing. I'm actually one of those people that have reached out to you when I wasn't working here. And, you know, I've told the story to a few people, you know, I emailed you after seeing you at the Skirball. I'm like, I just want to pick your brain. Let me buy you a cup of coffee. I don't know if it was a protein shake or meat for something, you know? And he didn't, and I was telling my wife, and this is like, okay, I got a backstory. January 2017, I got laid off. We watch all the TV shows. My wife's like, oh, you should get into real estate and go work at the agency. And I'm like, yeah, right, you know? And so she's manifesting this. I take the classes, I passed the test in May of last year. I go to work at an office on Larchmont for a couple months, yada, yada, yada. I go into like performance coaching workshops and I see Santiago. So I sent him an email and I'm like, I want to pick your brain, let me know, just want to talk. This is my story. You know, this is how I can kind of identify with you in some capacity. 3 weeks later, I don't know what it was, he didn't answer me and I'm telling my wife, this guy, you know? And then that same day, I get an email at night saying, Carlos, sorry, I've been really busy, can you meet me at 10 o'clock tomorrow in Brentwood? I'm like, I'll see you at night, you know? And we just talked, and this is, you know, a year later, I just anniversary a couple days ago. I just closed my 20th deal, you know? And it's like through the power of, I think, just like mental telepathy and just like good vibes and like struggles, and I've been feeling down for the past 2 weeks, and just, I'm grateful. I really am grateful, you know, and thank you so much for all this, and thank everybody that's helped me, honestly. Next thing I want to say is I would really love to do like a vision board workshop. If anybody's down, we just have to like schedule like a date and time, and like all of us like get in the conference rooms and do that, maybe 2-3 hours on a Friday, because we have to limit ourselves to the time. It'd be great to do it, because I've never done one and I'd love to do it.
That'll be
Anybody
fun.
wants to do one, you know?
Some people have shared their vision boards with me via email or via text or whatever. There's some cool ones. And it got me to want to add some stuff to mine that I didn't think about, because we all think different things, right? And sometimes we're very blocked on thinking about certain things, and you're not really thinking of what someone else is thinking. You're like, oh, that's actually something that I do want, right? So that'll be fun. Thanks for sharing that. And it's great to have you here. You're kicking ass. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
Carlos, thank you for offering that group to do. I would love to participate. And Santiago, thank you so much for leading this class. So in my bathroom, I have my vision board posted. I have a statement, a quitter never wins, a winner never quits. And then I've got tabbed all my chapters, and I went through and I picked out like the 3 or so nuggets from each chapter, and I just wrote it in bold on the front page of each chapter. And I'm gonna go and create a little outline and stick that next to my vision board in my bathroom. So every day, that's what I'm gonna be looking at.
Well, that's a good idea. Grabbing a couple nuggets from each chapter and put them in that's awesome. All right, thanks for sharing that. Anyone else? All right, guys, so I think we're ready to, the empanadas are gonna arrive any moment. Unfortunately, Gaucho Grill closed, which I'm still pissed about it. You all know I bitch about it every day, especially Laura, Griffin, and Anna. Everybody's sick of hearing me like, but there's another place where they have really, really good empanadas, Argentinian proper empanadas that we are having a cold dog being delivered any moment now by Glenna, this is going to pick up. There's some beers, there's some water. I love you guys, I think you're great. Thanks for making the effort to be here, because I know it takes out of your time, and it takes wanting to be here, and it takes wanting to participate, it takes wanting to let go of some thoughts that you might have to make you feel weird about what we talk about here, and be open-minded and be able to, as I told you, if you can get one nugget out of everything that we're doing here these last 8-9 weeks that we've been meeting here, I think that's worth it, and I believe in all of you. I believe that you all can kick ass no matter whether the market's up or down. Don't let that ever affect you. And when we talk about it, it's just because it's a reality, but that doesn't change your destiny. So you are the only one that controls it. You're the only one who can do it. As you all know, I basically built my career in 2008, 9, and 10, which was the worst part of the market. So I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just trying to tell you if I was able to do it, any of you guys can do it. So thank you for being here. It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely been the most fun year out of all, and I'm looking forward to next year. All right. Kind of music now. Like some.
She's nervous.
Good.